Good morning, Uganda. It's a Monday and quite a chilly one at that, but it never stops us from inspiring you this Monday morning. Now pick up your phone and save the number 0709602592 as we look at unlocking the social entrepreneurship ecosystem in Uganda. Now, to have that conversation with us is Dr. Joyce Tamale, co-founder and CEO of Capital Solutions Limited. And of course, we are looking at social entrepreneurship in Uganda and looking forward to the Social Entrepreneurship Day. Good morning, Dr. Joyce.
Good morning to you. How are you today?
Very well, thank you.
Yeah.
Pleasure having you again.
Thank you.
And always a pleasure having you on set. Now, Dr. Joyce, Capital Solutions has been at the forefront of promoting social entrepreneurship in Uganda. What does the Social Entrepreneurship Day mean for you, mean to Capital Solutions and to Uganda at large?
Okay. It's my great pleasure to be on UBC this morning as we talk about Social Entrepreneurship Day, which is on 20th November. I am Tamale Joyce, the co-founder and CEO at Capital Solutions and the chairperson of the Social Entrepreneurship Association in Uganda. When we talk about Social Entrepreneurship Day, definitely so much dear to my heart. As a company that is promoting social entrepreneurship, we always think about what is the ecosystem going to look like. Definitely we know social entrepreneurship is a new buzz in Uganda, whereby young women, men, and those vulnerable communities think of entrepreneurship approaches to solve the community problems. So for me, that is where we start from, to say who is going to do it for us if it's not us. And therefore, when we think about inclusion, equality, and dignity as you do business that is sustainable, that is what is so dear to my heart on this Social Entrepreneurship Day.
Very profound at that. Now, looking at you know, the youth and women who are most times the target audience for most startups with social entrepreneurship. In your perspective, do you think passion from all these social entrepreneurship ventures can actually be turned into business and a money-making point?
Yes, I will say definitely yes.
Right.
Because if you reflect on where did I begin from to start a social enterprise, to me it was passion. While I'm an accountant by professional, as I was doing my work in the development sector, I realized the fact that most of the NGOs were solving a community problem. And as a person who was working therein, I was equally touched with the way the NGOs were solving the problems. However, what disturbed me was the sustainability, financial sustainability component of the NGOs. And as a person, I said, what can I do in this ecosystem to solve that community problem of NGOs being non-financially resilient, non-financially sustainable? And therefore, because of the passion of loving, seeing things being done in a sustainable way, I moved the agenda of Capital Solutions. And therefore, for the youth and women, there's nothing that can drive this economy to the next level unless you do things that you love from your heart.
Right.
Because social entrepreneurship is doing business where the head and heart connect. If every Ugandan could start something you're passionate about, and at the same time you're solving a community problem in an innovative way, the economy can have a 10-time fold as the government is pushing.
All right. In other words, this beats the constant weight on donor funding.
Exactly.
Right.
Thank you. Got it. Yeah.
Right. Now, last month on the 5th, rather, you had the 5th annual Social Entrepreneurship Symposium.
Right.
One that we indeed got an opportunity to talk about here on this very, very same show. And you launched the Social Entrepreneurship Hub. What exactly is this hub about, and how will it help the about 1,350 entrepreneurs by 2028? Wow,
amazing. On 5th October, we were able to run our 5th annual Social Entrepreneurship Symposium, which was looking at turning around the ecosystem in Uganda in a more sustainable way, using social entrepreneurship agenda. And therefore, on that very day, we had been working hard on our dream of realizing a social entrepreneurship hub. We realized that this is the first hub in East Africa where social enterprises can be formulated, incubated, and accelerated. and therefore it's right here in Uganda, in Kajansi, at the Capital Solutions Center. So that hub gives an opportunity for young people, for women, for youth, people with disability, refugees, and largely people of Uganda to co-create solutions that are more sustainable, solutions that are innovative, solutions that can be able to turn around this country and this economy. And to us, we feel excited as a private social enterprise that is moving the economic agenda to the next level. We totally know that with a hub, one is able to do three things. That hub provides an opportunity for a social entrepreneur to come and think your business model, rethink and turn it around. How can it be sustainable? Of course, with the help of Capital Solutions, because we are experts in that. So we created it for people to come and rethink and redesign business models that are more sustainable. Secondly, it gives you an opportunity to have a place to work from. I mean, starting a social enterprise is difficult. Having a place where you can sit and co-create and work and network with like-minded people was not easy to be seen. And then thirdly, because Capital Solutions decided to start a social investment fund, which provides access, affordable access to social entrepreneurs, that will be an opportunity for you to be in a space where you can be unlocked for financial accessibility.
Very profound. Thank you very much. We are having a conversation on unlocking the social entrepreneurship ecosystem in Uganda, and indeed looking at the whole social entrepreneurship space in Uganda and looking forward to the Social Entrepreneurship Day. 0709602592 is the number that you should save and be part of this conversation. And we are having this conversation with an expert, one who's passionate about social entrepreneurship, and that is Dr. Joyce Tamale, who is the CEO and co-founder of Capital Solutions Uganda. Now, government just gave a tax exemption for new SMEs. Do you think it's just paperwork or it's a game changer in your perspective, based on the environment and what you know as the reality on ground?
Yeah, Julie, thank you. Of course, when you talk about issues of taxation, everybody wakes up, especially anybody in the private sector. One of the biggest scare in the whole of Uganda is anybody thinking URA is going to knock my door. So taxation scares anybody to actually do things right. So we are here thinking, with this new waiver for SMEs, those that have started, like now for 3 years to get a waiver, it's a very good motivation. You will not be scared of what scares most people to do the right thing. So to me, one, I want to thank the government for this opportunity to allow the SMEs and, social enterprises, could be either way, to start, and there's no fear of taxation. That means we will start on the right footing to register properly, run the right accounting system, and therefore what needs to be done, because for it to move from paper to get the fear to a reality and remove the fear of taxation, somebody needs to speak through it. What does it mean in real terms? Because it might be a trap, for you to say there's this waiver and yet actually it's not there. What does that mean? So government needs to speak to this, especially URA, and encourage and tell people this is for you and it means well for you. And what does that mean exactly? If I am going to run my small SME, I'll be favored because I'll be creating jobs. And therefore, we are yet to see the benefits, but I totally believe whatever is put on the paper will be actualized. So it's upon us in the private sector to say we demand, and therefore you do the right thing and make sure that you benefit from the waiver of 3 years. But to me, as a social entrepreneur advocate, social entrepreneur incubator, accelerator, I demand that government needs to think through, how about social enterprises? How can social enterprises be looked at differently from the normal plain SMEs that are profit-oriented? Social enterprises make profit, but that profit is plowed back for the good of the community and for the good of growing sustainably.
Very profound. Now let's look at the nature of social enterprises. Many of them are looked at as charities more than businesses, and therein it's very hard to tell what exactly it is. But what would you say distinguishes is the difference between a true social enterprise and one that is existing for the well-being of the NGO and its purposes?
Thank you. I think this is a great opportunity for me to unpack what is a social enterprise.
Perfect, yes.
Because this has been around in other countries for a long time. And for us, we have always known charitable organizations. And therefore, a social enterprise is an organization or a company that runs and solves community problems innovatively, but in a sustainable, meaning that you bring in cash flow and you are able to even make a profit. But the question is, what does the profit do that you make in a social enterprise? The biggest part of the profit, some of the end of the social enterprises that are largely skewed to the NGO arm, plow back 100% of the profit into the community work, etc.
Right.
But those that have a hybrid model, whereby the starters can benefit from it, can take a 50-50 approach of the funds that are made. But the most important thing, the difference here is that while the SME is also solving a solution of sorts, but the whole agenda is for you to make a bottom line for the shareholders, 100%. And it may not be any connection with impact. You don't even care about measuring impact. For NGOs, the agenda is social value. As long as I'm socially happy, make the community happy, I'm good with an NGO. No cash flow focus. With a social enterprise, now the two meet in the middle. You are solving a community problem, but with a cash flow coming in, and you're able to meet in the middle, run a sustainable business model, and that way, as research says, 2.83% of the jobs are created more by social enterprises than pure SMEs. So to me, I feel this is more touching, this is more widening, and this is more inclusive. Yeah.
Makes sense, because social enterprises are actually solving solutions, they're making people happy, but at the same time, there's the element of sustainability, which sometimes is against NGOs.
Exactly.
Now, let's look at the quality. In your perspective, what do you think is the qualities of a successful social enterprise?
Interesting. Thank you, Julie, and the listeners and the viewers. To me, I think there are three qualities I'll look at, and basically I'm picking it from the capital solutions approach and what we have seen. To be honest, there are quite a number of ESOs, enterprise support organizations, that are doing pure businesses.
Right.
Capital Solutions is focused on social enterprises, and over the years we have seen three things that we can tick off and say this is a successful, thriving social enterprise. One of the things that would make you successful or look thriving is, one, your business model. How does your business model look like? How do you measure impact? You will bring in the cash flow, which says cash flow is queen or cash flow is king, which is number one target. Does your business model bring in cash flow? You start from there, and that is somebody is willing to pay for your service or product, you know. So that is number one target. Number two, how do you measure impact? Is your impact on number of sales? The answer would be yes, but not really the priority. On the number of jobs created, yes, but for who? Are you targeting a certain category of the vulnerable, underprivileged people who wouldn't be employed under a normal SME? Then we'll say, yes, you're doing something great. The other one we are looking at for you to look as a successful social enterprise is the blended finance. Are you able to get the blended finance, whereby you're looking at, if you're lucky to get a grant, well and good, we clap for you, but are you also looking at impact investors? Are you able to get equity in? Are you able to get your products delivered and you get the capital growing? So in that way, we are seeing your balance sheet growing, we are seeing the income and expenditure growing, but we are seeing more impact in the community, where everybody says, I will cry if this organization closes.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, let's look at the youth. One of the mantras I know of Capital Solutions is that grants end, but impact does not. So what would you say, what message would you have for a 22-year-old who looks forward to starting up a social enterprise and has no capital whatsoever? Advise them, where do they start from?
Right. Julie, of course, we all know the biggest population are young people.
Right.
And if you talk about 22 years, those will even be 80% of our population. Really a huge number, a huge population. So most of these young people, and looking at the curriculum which has been changed, we are seeing that there's going to be a lot of skills gaining along the way, right from primary all the way to secondary. You must gain a skill that can be replicated in the community to solve a problem. So if you are talking about a 22-year-old, quite a number of my staff are also in that age bracket. Now the message is that I want to promote you as a social entrepreneur, meaning that you're going to be more meaningful in your community, you're going to create more jobs. But where do you start from? We all know starting an enterprise is so painful, it needs grit, it is tough. So you need to work on yourself. 3 things. 1, the skill I'm talking about must be built. So 22-year-old, how much years have you built the skill on? It might be a very young, nascent skill. So you need to nurture the skill to make it meaningful. And with that skill that you've gained, the passion has to grow, because there's one thing to have a skill and you don't have a passion. So therefore, the business may not thrive. So we work on this passion by 1, identify a mentor. Mentors are here. Capital Solution now has over 250 social enterprises, Ugandan social entrepreneurs in Uganda who are willing to give back in mentoring, in education, in solar, in agribusiness. So the young people need to identify a mentor to handhold you and support you on this journey of designing a social enterprise. Then thirdly, you work on your social capital. So we start by identifying where do I going to belong in terms of the social enterprise I'm developing. So you start networking, you start opening up yourself to get people who will ignite you, and of course get into training and capacity building opportunities like the ones we've been running for young people for the last 2 years, where we are mentoring. For every 1 year we hold up to 100 young people. We hold them and help them design their social enterprises. So we are available and opportunities available so that young people can be nurtured to become the real social entrepreneurs after us in the coming generation. Right.
Now let's look at some of the works that you've done. You've been able to serve at major boards like the KCB Bank board. And there are lots of things you've noticed and learned along the way and think as solutions. In your perspective, how do you think spaces such as these corporate spaces and professional spaces what policies or partnerships do you think they should embody in order to actually thrive in the area of social ecosystems in Uganda as opposed to photo ops?
Yeah, thank you very much, Julie, again. Of course, I serve on different boards. I chair the board of Uganda Reinsurance and several other boards that make impact in this country. So when you think about what the role of social entrepreneurship will play in the boardrooms of the corporations is quite enormous. Because 1, as we know, the research that brought out social entrepreneurship was looking at impact finance. And there is no way you can be in a boardroom and no impact finance is talked about. Even at KCB Bank, we usually talk about it as the board. Why? Because of the ESG framework that is desired on our reporting as a corporation. So when you look at environmental, social and governance, it is in the middle of the game of the social entrepreneurship, because you're expected to report on your environmental approach as a corporation. You're supposed to report on your gender equality, the number of women on the board, the balancing of the youth, and the opportunities you give on employment. So as you measure all this, as a bank, as a corporation, as an insurance company, name it, you must be able to have some impact parameters that you report on, because it's required as a professional requirement for you to talk about ESG, which sits well within the impact space reporting. Gone are the days, there's even an IFRS as a certified public accountant. I know for sure that financial reporting calls for you to talk about sustainability. So how are you going to leave out sustainability when you're not talking to social entrepreneurs? So I totally give hands up to those people, corporations that have partnered with their social enterprises, to make sure that this comes into your boardroom and you're able to tick off on the ESG.
Right. Now, 20th November is coming up, and that is the Social Entrepreneurship Day 2025. As we look forward to that day, what is your message to the Ugandan public partners as well as the global community about supporting social entrepreneurship altogether?
Right. Thanks a lot, our dear viewers. 1, social entrepreneurship is here. It is here to stay. It is the game changer for our economic development. While we are looking at the 10 times fold of our economy, we note that in Africa, social entrepreneurship is the way to go. As we speak in the G20, we are supposed to be represented in South Africa. We have a space for only launching the social enterprise research for Africa. And for me, this is a huge space for the social entrepreneurs.
Right.
We have seen this coming alive, and therefore I encourage government, for starters, to open up public-private partnerships with social entrepreneurs across board. We are here, we formulate the policy, and we are able to give a working environment. To the public sector, I would like to ask and encourage for collaborations. Look out for organizations like social entrepreneurs that will save the day for you. They do it well. Partner with us and make sure that we deliver the social aspect, the ESG component for you. Social entrepreneurs will be able to do it. And to us as individuals, as fellow Ugandans, the problems we have can only be sustainably solved by our innovative approach, using entrepreneurship as an approach to solve our community problems. And with that, we are here as Capital Solutions, as the Social Entrepreneurship Association in Uganda, to drive this agenda, to celebrate the Social Entrepreneurship Day on this week as we go forward to solve our community problems.
Right. And how exactly are we celebrating this day? Is there a particular place we are convening? What are some of those details as to how the rest of the general public can be part of the 20th of November in celebrating Social Entrepreneurship Day?
Right, thank you, Julie, and our viewers. Of course, we've started.
Yes.
This is one of the spaces that is celebrating the Social Entrepreneurship Day. It's going to be a whole week of celebrations. There are several activities, and we've decided to embrace digital as part of our sustainability. So each day we have a digital, we have a Twitter space going on this week. We have a lot of social media engagement because we know we are doing it for the young people. We are also trying to be as sustainably as possible. Look out for all our online channels and at Capital Solutions. There's going to be quite a lot of things to unpack, including today, as you've been watching, you've contributed to the Social Enterprise Day.
Right, thank you very much. That is Dr. Joyce Tamale. She is the CEO and co-founder Capital Solutions Uganda. And this morning we've been looking at unlocking the social entrepreneurship ecosystem in Uganda. Just look forward to this celebration throughout the whole week starting today, and you can just follow all the social media platforms of Capital Solutions Uganda for every celebration and engagement that is there on. For now, have a blessed morning as you look forward to Good Morning Uganda Tourism Express. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Every Wednesday, live in our studios in the heart of Kampala.
We have to change the political culture in this country, really. Who has bewitched Ugandans?
I want to assure you, as government, we shall do whatever it takes to ensure that Ugandans are safe.
We have conversations that have analysis, explanation.
This law society, this union of theirs, because they want a job everywhere, they want to be this, they want to be that, they want... No. We know it's a union.
You cannot be making a road, bitumen grade 1, in Congo for 5 billion.
But not every truth is fact, and not every fact is truth.
The argument that the General Court Martial is responsible for peace and stability is without basis, either in law or in fact.
We have been told how Napoleon was a great orator. Now, Napoleon cannot help me get food. They told me combine harvest in Saskatchewan. I don't know where Saskatchewan is. This is a geography we're taught. Instead of teaching me how to preserve Mabera forest, they're teaching me about Rhineland. This is a problem we got. We cannot run away from it.
Right now, you hear very disgusting stories of members of parliament. Instead of discussing the details of loans, they ask for their cuts.
Every Wednesday, 10 p.m. on your public broadcaster.
All on your public broadcaster, UBC, inspiring Uganda. Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda. Brought to you by
ours. Explore Uganda.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Honorable Minister, we welcome you. Thank you for making it to the 10th edition, the launch of the 10th edition of the Pearl of Africa Tourism Exhibition. Ladies and gentlemen, and of course, members of the Fourth Estate, allow me to stand on the protocol that Ida shared earlier, in case I missed any, because mine is really to summarize why we're here today. So first of all, thank you for making it. Thank you for being patient with us. We did have a bit of a late start, but I think Francis held it together with a very interesting panel discussion from private sector players, speaking together with Uganda Airlines on the same stage with Uganda Wildlife Authority, which is essentially the foundation or the basis of what this year's Powati is about. It is about private-public partnership. It is about us working together, pooling resources so that we have the world's best tourism exhibition ever. So we are not competing on Africa levels, members. For those who think we are competing with the regional tourism expos, no. We are going for WTM levels. So that's the first thing I wanted to say. I'm also going to talk just maybe 3 key distinguishing factors between this year's 10th edition and all the others we've done. My team knows that I stand on maybe 2 or 3 sayings and I keep repeating them. It sounds like a broken record. I believe that the definition of madness is doing things the same way, the same how, expecting different what? Results. Personally, I'm not mad. At least I've not been certified. There are those who call me mad, yes, I know. But no one has written it on a paper. So assuming we are all sane and able-bodied human beings, we cannot do things the same way we've been doing them, expecting we are going to attract more footfall to this destination. And so we're changing things up this year. We're doing primarily 3 things. Let me start by saying, who thinks or who feels things are not yet changing in tourism? Who feels it's the same as the years before, Obote, Idi Amin? Who feels it's the same? Is it only me who is seeing that tourism is topical right now? That there is a different kind of attention and intent in this sector? Who? Is it just me? Can I ask a question about what is making you feel proud about our destination more recently? I'll go first. We won an award in Switzerland recently. I think people saw it. Clap for yourselves, it's all of us. May I clap for myself daily? Last week we won in, was it Riyadh, where we were represented by the Ministry of Tourism. We came number 3 after Peru, Ecuador, as a best adventure destination in the world. 190 countries plus, and we are number 3. Think about it. We are getting the right kind of traction. What else is making us proud? Me, I have a long list here, so I'll just, maybe somebody from the private sector. What is exciting us about tourism right now? There's the investment. Investment last year grew 250%. We were given 250% more money than we've ever spent on tourism in this country. What else? Okay, you people of UTB, what else is making you proud? Aha, thank you, James. I was waiting, it was here. London, Abuja, Lagos, Mumbai, Johannesburg. Can I go on? Cape Town. But now, Sandra, you're talking after I asked you, you were quiet. Nothing is making you proud. This year, we reintroduced Kampala City Council Festival. Women in tourism, what is exciting you?
What was exciting me is the display you've done at
The airport.
Yeah, you've switched it up.
Yes. Yes. Change. Thank you very much. Feedback. People, are you hearing? Things are changing, things are moving. We are no longer accepting to do things the same way, expecting different results. That one is of the past. So the first thing that we're changing this year is we're introducing a theme called Wanderlust. Honorable Minister, while you are away, we did a bit of English homework here. As usual, people were scared. Big English word, wanderlust, wanderlust. It's very simple. Wanderlust is about having a true desire to explore, to unpack, to adventure, to traverse. And that is what we're inviting the world to do in Uganda. And we believe we have the right to do so. This year at Poate, together with the private sector, we are going to demonstrate to the world that Uganda is more than just wild animals. We are more than just landscape and terrain and what have you. We are about culture, we're about heritage, we're about provenance, we're about people, we're about food. We're about a 360-degree experience that they cannot get anywhere else in the world. That is what Wanderlust basically embodies, if anybody asks you. It is about embedding, immersing ourselves in all things Ugandan. And that's what we want to do with Poate this year. It's not enough for us to demonstrate to the world that we're the best looking. And that's the thing with a lot of the expos and exhibitions. It's essentially a beauty pageant. You get there, who shows off better, who has better dancers, better music. We are moving away from beauty pageant times. This year, and this one is for the private sector, if you hear nothing else from me, this year we are going to Poate to do commerce. We are going to sell. We are going to sell this country. We are going to sell packages. We are going to sell experiences. We are going to immerse buyers, hosted buyers and other visitors in Uganda. But we are going to monetize it. We will not leave the 10th version of Poate without money. I've refused. We are living with money. We are living with reservations, bookings, selling every single part of the experience of Uganda at Poate. So that is the mindset. That is the biggest one. Wanderlust and commerce. That's the second thing we're changing this year. We're not coming to just unpack, showcase. Last year, I think we did really well in terms of demonstrating what kind of adventures and you know, exploration activities we have. There were even boats. If I remember correctly, somebody came with a canoe. Bring the canoes, but also bring the booking, ticketing machine. Bring POS machines. Let people leave money there at Munyonyo. That is the approach we're taking this year. Wanderlust is underpinned by commerce. We've got to book. We've got to make those reservations. We cannot spend that week and that money in Munyonyo and not come away with the right kind of commerce. So again, this year, that what we're changing and why we're here as early as we are, is we want to get the right people in the room. We've already started courting different destinations. We want their top tier buyers with us next year, and we need to book them early. Honorable Minister, this is actually a launch after the launch, because a month ago we met with the committee heads of the NOC. The organizing committee for Poate has already started. We need to approach our hosted buyers in a timely manner. These are busy people. They're one of the most sought after species. So if we go late, we'll get bottom tier members. We need to get top ranking hosted buyers in Uganda next May. So that is why we're starting this early. Apart from getting the right buyers in the room, we also want the right professionals, the right engagements. If we're going to speak AI, if we're going to speak global trends, if we want to understand what the UN's plan is as far as tourism goes, and I was having this conversation with Deo yesterday, we are quoting some of the highest professional, most respected tourism professionals in the world. They will join us here in May. but they can only join us if we approach them in a timely manner. We cannot go in June, what's the month before May? February, expecting, again, doing things the same way, expecting different results. So we have already written to them. Those who we are quoting already are in the know. This process here is for the fourth estate to know that we are live, otherwise work has started in the kitchen. So the third and last thing I'll speak to, and we're really excited about this one, our partners at Munyonyo have given us, I think, a couple of groundbreaking concessions that are definitely going to impact the way we've been delivering Poate. So, exciting news. We've got 2 extra days from Munyonyo, uncharged, which means we can set up a day earlier and we can stay a day later. We have negotiated, they have accepted. Munyonyo has also, I think for the first time in history, allowed for us to have a food exhibition. So on the last day, Munyonyo will open their gates to accept exhibitors of a culinary experience. Of course, it won't be everyone, please. It won't be any Tom, Dick, and Harry. We need to get the best Rolex makers in the house. If you're making Kabalagala, we need to see your Kabalagala certificate. You need to be UNBS certified. Yes. If you're going to do Nsenene, we need to start testing your Nsenene this season. Yeah, we are already in the season. If you are coming to do Mwogo and I don't know, all the other street food that we boast of, we need to make sure you're the best in the trade. So that concession for me is exceptionally exciting, because for the first time we'll be able to give our hosted buyers, our visitors, all the partners who will be in the house a truly Ugandan cuisine experience, culinary experience. So the last thing I'm going to say before I invite my chairman to say a word or two is that as we go into Poate as partners, and collaboration is the key, we need to be speaking the same language. So Wanderlust is the theme. We need to be talking about product diversification, portfolio diversification. I've been singing about it. Uganda is so much more. We are the big 5 plus 3. We are 160 lakes plus. We are 8,000 species of flora and fauna plus. 1,000 plus species of birds. We are home to some of the oldest cultures and traditions on earth. Buganda Kingdom is how old? 400, 500? Members, answer, I'm giving out permits, gorilla permits here. People know me. If you make me up, I give you a gorilla permit. How many years? Buganda in the house. 14th century. Oh, what's the math, Jackie? Why are you giving us homework? Just say the yes. 400? Oldest traditions and cultures on planet Earth. We have 64 tribes, all with very unique music, food, dance, culture. So as we go into Poate, each one of us here, and those who will cascade the message, members of the Fourth Estate, we are saying Uganda is so much more. Uganda is that gift which keeps on giving. That is the modus operandi and mindset we need to approach Poate with. That and the commercial one, the commerce one. So members of the private sector, we are also on you now. You know how you always on us. We didn't bring this. If you come to Poate without a POS machine, without your reservation team, then you are at the wrong place. Next year we are selling. We are selling Uganda. We are not exhibiting. Exhibiting lends itself to beauty pageant. That one, we have done it for the last 9 years and we've done it well. Now is the time to monetize. our beauty, our warmth, and our culture. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Brought to you by Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Welcome back. Good morning to those of you who are just joining us. Yes, that was GMU Tourism Express. Indeed, a wanderlust. Uganda Tourism Board are inviting the world to have a desire to explore Uganda. And they are selling Uganda in terms of tourism. I can't wait to be in Munyonyo. I love the culinary experience that is yet to be showcased in Munyonyo. Personally, I love continental cuisines. I'm a foodie who loves exploring a lot of flavors. But it's time for the economic press, in starting off with the financial intelligence. The Mandela Group of companies has launched a nationwide campaign on better business practices and financial growth. During community engagements, the group is guiding small and medium entrepreneurs to improve customer care, formalize their enterprises, embrace technology, and manage finances responsibly. Let's have a look.
Station that cut across of all our partners in the spring flour. We had the main dealers, we had the retailers and the end users. And basically what we've addressed today is mainly on the honesty and integrity in as far as running business is concerned. So we've talked about customer-centric, our customers to put customer service at the forefront when they are running their businesses. And all through, we believe if those factors are put into consideration, we shall grow together, we shall grow better together as our theme of spring.
So they have talked about the system. We have to make the system such that...
Okay, and then the Action Group, through its subsidiary, which is YAS, has taken over Wananchi Group, the company behind Zuku and Simbanet. The move strengthens YAS's position in East Africa's fast-growing fiber market and expands its reach to homes and businesses across Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, and Malawi. Here is the report.
Uganda's internet fiber sector is increasingly competitive, with companies such as MTN, Airtel, Rock Telecom, Canal Box, Liquid Telecom Technologies, Savannah and Uganda Telecom, all vying for customers.
What we are trying to do is try to get a partner who can join hands with us and who believes in the values of Zuku, in particular Zuku Fiber and Wananchi Group at large, and put in some more money so that we can be able to expand the business both in terms of growth within Kampala.
The takeover gives YAS and Action a wider footprint and greater capacity to invest, innovate and extend services across the region.
We are also operating on mobile and financial services. We are the leaders in our different markets for mobile money services.
Analysts say Action is likely to use Wananchi's strong fiber network to support faster digital development for government, business and home users, bringing better internet speeds, improved service and more affordable options.
Because here with the expansion, quality of service and improvements in terms of innovation, in terms of new technologies and new guidelines, it means that even the society at large is going to benefit.
And from the cooperative news, Chamhanga Jubilee Sacco has brought financial services closer to the people of Ntungamo, answering President Museveni's call for SACCOs to drive household wealth. Let's have a look.
SACCO's main branch in... For years, residents of Rwashamire traveled nearly 40 kilometers to access the SACCO's main branch in Butare-Bushenyi. Today, that struggle ends. The newly opened branch will now serve thousands at their doorstep. Assistant Resident District Commissioner Antunga Mojime Tashobya praised the SACCO for directly fighting poverty.
Really, I'm humbled for Chamunga Children's SACCO for supporting us, for supporting the government, because our intention as government in this midterm, we are looking at increasing household income as our main goal over this NDP4.
District Commercial Officer Ezra Arianijuka says the branch will boost a saving culture and improve family incomes.
I'm very happy because this is not my first time. I have been happy, but today I'm more. Therefore, I'm going upon everybody to come to join this circle for good country. Because in this country, if you don't have money, you cannot survive. Therefore, this is the way how people can save money without fear. And I'm very happy for that.
Chamuhunga Jubilee SACCO now operates 6 branches across the region.
Tuineyo na Nyakasharu na yeri mu Rubirizi district. Tuine Mitoma na yeri yo ko Dipinda village mu Rushenyi.
And the Harris International Uganda and the Hotels, Tourism and Supermarkets Union have signed a new collective bargaining agreement for the next 3 years. Let's have a look at what the HTS Secretary General Moses Richard Mawako has to say about this new agreement.
Harris International has consistently demonstrated compliance with labor legislation and is proud of the relationship with the employees under the HTS union. According to the Managing Director, Harris International, Simon Harvey, this agreement is a testament to the company's commitment to the employees' welfare.
It is important for us to ensure that we give the staff what they need. I think what people don't realise about the union, it allows us to collectively bargain and not try and bargain with 1,000 individuals. And it's a really critical part of any organisation to have a conducive and working relationship. It may never always be that we agree on everything, but I think we've seen over the last 3 years since I've been here that even when we don't agree, we come up with a solution.
The General Secretary at HTS Union, Mauk Moses, says this agreement marks a major achievement for the employees and appreciated management's willingness to engage with the union.
There are so many privileges that we have discussed for them, and including new things that have not been in the old CBS. And we are very happy that we have recorded all those improvements forward on behalf of the employees, and we take occasion also to appreciate the management for having agreed to continuously engage with the union to improve the workers' terms and conditions of employment where it is possible.
The agreement includes new clauses, improved night and out-of-station allowances, and salary increment. Women employees will also benefit from enhanced parent rights and privileges.
Since we started the collective bargaining process over 15 years ago with the HTS union, we've seen remarkable improvements in our employees from a productivity perspective. And this has gone a long way in shaping the company that Harris International has become today.
This development is a testament to the power of collective bargaining and the importance of maintaining a positive relationship between employers and employees.
Now let's have a look at the forex rates as they stood by November 13th, 2025. Starting off with the dollar, that is the US dollar. It bought at 3,538.64 and sold at 3,548.18. By midday, the dollar was buying at 3,576.59 and sold at 3,586.59. The US dollar closed in at 3,566.91 for those who are buying, and sold at 3,576.91, while the Great British Pound bought at 4,690.84 and sold at 4,703.99. The Euro bought at 4,153.48 and sold at 4,165.13. The Kenyan shilling bought at 27.59 and sold at 27.67.
while the Tanzanian shilling bought at 1.46 and sold at 1.462. And the South African rand bought at 209.53 and sold at 210.12. Now, as we wind up the financial news, you need to know that every great business started with a simple idea and the courage to take the first step. My name is Joan N. Murunji. Coming up is the agenda with Jolie. Good morning.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC. Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah yo, baby don't know.
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks, Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100*21# and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Following our earlier communication regarding the technical challenge that affected the transmission of some free-to-air television channels, Uganda Broadcasting Corporation UBC wishes to provide the public with an update on the ongoing restoration efforts. Our engineering and technical teams have been working diligently to resolve the issue and restore normal transmission. While substantial progress has been made, the process has taken longer than initially anticipated due to the complexity of the fault. We assure our valued viewers and partners that full restoration remains our top priority and every necessary measure is being taken to ensure a stable and reliable signal across all affected platforms. In the meantime, we kindly advise viewers to rescan their TV sets to access the available channels. This will ensure that you can view the channels that are currently broadcasting without interruption. UBC sincerely apologizes for the inconvenience this disruption has caused and appreciates the continued patience and understanding of our audiences as we finalize the recovery process. Further updates will be provided through our official communication channels as progress continues. For additional information, please contact Public Relations Office, Uganda Broadcasting Corporation UBC. Email info@ubc.go.ug or +256 703 826 623.
My question is, what is the difference between rental tax and income tax? How comes I'm paying both taxes on my own premises? If you want to have a tin, but you are not making any income from your business, you should take on the obligation to continue filing your nil return.
Commissioner General, to invest in taxation, when people understand taxes and they know the importance of taxes and they know the fair assessment of these taxes they're supposed to pay, I think everybody will embrace taxation.
As banning groupage cargo, clearance protects small traders who cannot afford to import full container loads individually and rely on consolidation to remain competitive. Cargo to come in groupage is consolidation, it's legitimate, and we can't ban it. What we have banned, or what we have stopped, is the use of container leaders. Now, Fiona, the good news I have for you is that among the new tax proposals,
now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790-141-887 and the Commissioner General of URA, John Musinguzi, will personally address them. Tune in to UBC News Tonight every Monday and Wednesday for expert insights and clear explanations. Buza Commissioner.
Hello Uganda, I am Wes Isaac, NRM Chairman, Radio Uganda Village. I thank all of you who attended the historical campaign launch of His Excellency Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the NRM National Chairman. Your presence was an expression of support for the progress, peace and transformation that the NRM has championed under the leadership of General Kaguta Museveni. Let's mobilize more in our communities, stand firm and keep united. Fellow residents at Radio Uganda Village and the country at large, let's support and vote massively for His Excellency General Kaguta Museveni for continued development, stability and prosperity. Promote a message of peace, patriotism and socio-economic transformation. Then we will together protect the game. Long live NRM, long live General Kaguta Museveni, for God and my country.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Good morning, Uganda. It's time for the agenda. Welcome back from JMU Business with Joan Murungi, as well as JMU Tourism Express. My name is Julie F. Nantaba. Time for the agenda. And this Monday, we're looking at the road to the general elections 2026. And today we are looking at empowering citizens for active and peaceful participation in the election process. Now in studio with me is Mugweri Joffre, who is the PRO of 3N Consultants, alongside Misusera Mukasa Njovu, who is the Senior Technical Advisor as well as team leader for this particular project of elections, teaching you about elections, voter education, with 3N Consultancy. 0709602592 is the WhatsApp number that you should save and be part of the conversation. Good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, Joffre.
Good morning, Julie. Thank you for hosting us again. It's a pleasure being here.
Indeed, a pleasure having you as well. Good morning, Mukasa.
Good morning, Julie.
Yes.
I'm glad to be part of the team that is hosted here today.
Indeed, a pleasure having you on board. And seeing as we had Joffre last week, it would not hurt for us to start with Mukasa to speak with us as you tell us about why elections in Uganda should matter. Why do elections really matter in Uganda?
Thank you very much, Julie. Elections should matter in Uganda because, one, this country is an electoral democracy country. It is a democratic country, and it is one of the ways in which leaders are changed. And so it matters to each and everybody who is a Ugandan, and it is the mode in which we exercise our right. It's the mode in which citizens exercise their obligation as Ugandans to ensure that they have the leaders of their choice in the various offices, especially the political offices. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it is a constitutional right.
Right.
To clearly spelled out in the 1995 Constitution of the Republic of Uganda, that power belongs to the people, and therefore if it belongs to the people, then they have to exercise that power through elections.
Right. Yeah. And it's beautiful that you say that it's a right that has to be exercised. One time, I forget who we hosted, who mentioned that every right comes with a responsibility. And I will pose this next question to you, Joffre. What, in your experience as 3N Consultants, especially for voter education, what do you think are the roles and responsibilities of citizens in the election process?
Thank you so much, Julie, and the viewers. Maybe before I divulge into the rights and responsibilities of voters in this process, let me expound and enhance my colleague's submission about because it will give us the basis upon which we go into these other details. First of all, the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda provides that the power shall belong to the people of Uganda. It is through voting that the people can decide how they are going to be governed. Now, in the process of the elections, we have got various stakeholders. One of the stakeholders, as you mentioned, are the voters, and you want to interest ourselves. How do these voters benefit, and what should be their responsibilities and duties in the electoral process? Whereas there are rights, I also want to make us understand that actually the rights are not absolute, and rights come along with responsibilities. First of all, as a right to citizens have rights of voting. They have the right to choose leaders of their own choice. They have a right to have a secrecy on how they're going to vote. For example, on the voting day, it is my right to choose whom I'm going to vote without necessarily informing any other person that I'm going to make this choice. There should be freedom of choice. That is a right of a voter. They shouldn't be intimidated as voters. This is what we are trying to call upon Ugandans, that it is basically your right. But in the process of exercising those rights, you have also got responsibilities. And these rights are not absolute. For example, whereas I'm enjoying the right, I shouldn't also interfere with the right of others. So it is a process which calls for rights at the same time responsibilities. It is one's democratic and constitutional right as a Ugandan citizen to choose a leader of his or her choice.
Right.
It is one's voice and right which is expressed on a ballot paper. So I think those are the rights which we should look at. Then we can also look at the responsibilities. Whereas you have these rights to exercise, you should also be cognizant of the fact that there should be responsibilities. And one of the cardinal responsibilities of a voter is that you should vote peacefully and wisely. As a voter, you have got a responsibility also to reject bribes, to report irregularities. For example, if you detect that there are irregularities in the process, as a voter, you have that responsibility. You have to help the system. You have the right to vote, but at the same time, you must also respect the choices of others. That is the responsibility. It's the responsibility of the voter. You need to respect the choices of others. Another responsibility, before you make that informed decision, I think you need to have time and listen to the people who are offering themselves for leadership. You can attend their political rallies. That is a responsibility. It will help you make informed decisions. Alongside all those responsibilities, and if we are to maintain and if we are to adhere to the rights and responsibilities, I'm confident we can have peaceful elections.
In fact, on that note, kindly allow me ask you to elaborate more on the roles and the rights you've just hinted on superficially on the different roles and rights. But I believe a Ugandan and a viewer seated in their living room right now, or seated in their office right now watching, would actually want to even have a clearer picture, seeing as it's voter education. Let's delve deeper into the roles and rights of agents, voters, candidates, the Uganda police, the media, generally the different stakeholders. What right belongs to who and what role is expected, as well as responsibility from whom?
Thank you so much. In my opening remarks, I mentioned that the electoral process in Uganda has got various stakeholders. We have got the Electoral Commission, we have got the voters, we have got the political parties, we have got the candidates, we have got the agents, we have got the security agencies like the police and other security agencies, which all have got responsibilities and duties to execute if we are to achieve a peaceful election. Let me try to look at the responsibility of the Electoral Commission. The Electoral Commission plays a vital role in this electoral process. For example, it appoints and gazettes and publishes the campaigning period. It takes through the whole process of calling upon candidates, taking them through the program, how they are going to be participating in the elections. It is the Electoral Commission, actually, the biggest stakeholder in this process, and they have got a very big responsibility. They coordinate and they ensure that the campaigning process, they issue the guidelines. How are the candidates, how are the participants in the process going to conduct themselves? It is through the Electoral Commission that they issue those guidelines. They ensure that they work hand in hand with security agencies to ensure that there is a peaceful election process. When we come to the agents of the candidates, maybe before I go to the agents, we have got actually the political organizations and the candidates. In the electoral process, after the Electoral Commission issuing guidelines and rolling out their political program, the voters, the candidates, all different stakeholders are clearly indicated on how they're going to participate in the whole process. Now, once you are a candidate, you have fulfilled the requirements to be nominated as a candidate at various political levels. For example, presidential, parliamentary, local governments. Once you are duly nominated, you have got a lot of work to do. One, as a candidate, it is your responsibility to convince the voters so that they buy your manifesto, so that they appreciate what you intend to do for them. It is through the indicated guidelines by Electoral Commission that you must follow them strictly. They issue guidelines on how you're going to conduct your campaigns. The Electoral Commission helps you to harmonize the campaigning program. You access the voters and convince them. The agents have got that responsibility as well, because every candidate has got an agent, an official agent, who harmonizes the programs, who helps the candidate, who coordinates with the various stakeholders like the Electoral Commission on how the whole campaign is going to be conducted. It is through that process that the agent will have to ensure that all what is concerned about his candidate is fulfilled in accordance with the guidelines of the Electoral Commission. When we come to security agencies like the police, the police is mandated in this process, first of all, to preserve the law, to ensure that everything is conducted within the law peacefully. The police is supposed to work hand in hand with the Electoral Commission and other stakeholders in the electoral process to detect criminality and make sure that the electoral process is conducted peacefully. Yeah.
And looking at the media, what role is the media supposed to play? And what rights as well as responsibilities do the media hold?
The media plays a very big role. It has got a very big role in the process. First of all, the media is supposed to inform the public about what is happening in the whole electoral process. But it is also the responsibility of the media to report responsibly, to report neutrally. Once the media is not neutral and is not reporting responsibly, it can also cause problems. For example, if the media is inclined to a particular candidate and it shows sides, the media, since it is through the media that the public gets to know what is happening, it plays a very important role. It has to be neutral, it has to report responsibly, and it must not intimidate, it must not bias, it must not fuel divisions. It is supposed to be impartial, and once we have an impartial media, once we have a responsible media, it means the whole process will be peaceful, people will not be incited. The media can incite people. The media can incite the public if it is reporting irresponsibly. So we call upon all the stakeholders, and it's good you have brought about this issue of the media. Once the media is neutral and is reporting fairly and objectively, then it will also help the public, it will help the voter to make informed decisions. The media is supposed to actually educate. It is through the media that people, like now, for example, now we have gotten an opportunity that we are disseminating this information to the public domain. I think that is the role of the media. The media is also, is also required to give equal space to the political players. For example, if it is about reporting, I want to call upon the media, and I want to emphasize this point, that once all parties are treated fairly and objectively, I think there will be no clashes. That's what I can talk about the media now. Yeah.
Very profound at that. Now on your screen, some of picture footage really to elaborate what we do not expect for Uganda come 2026 or throughout this whole election process. Looking forward to a peaceful election where each stakeholder is respected and tolerated, so that the views of each stakeholder are peacefully expressed throughout this election process. Allow me, Mr. Mugweri, go back a bit to the voters. Aside them having the right to vote, there's also how they vote, and we earlier on had footage showing how to use a ballot paper. I hope it's displayed, but it's something I'd love for you to shed a light on. What exactly are we supposed to do when we have these ballot papers in our hands? How are we supposed to tick, and how are we supposed to, what are we not supposed to do with these ballot papers as a responsibility for a voter, especially on the days of polling days?
Thank you so much, Julie. You realize that on the day of voting, first of all, it is the responsibility of a voter to go and exercise his or her right through the ballot. The Constitution clearly stipulates it that we shall change leadership through voting. Uganda being a democratic country, citizens are given that opportunity, I think after every 5 years at all levels, that we change leadership. So upon having become a voter and enrolled in the national register as a voter, on the voting day, I call upon voters to turn up in big numbers to go and exercise their rights peacefully. The beauty with voting is that it is your vote, the power is in your vote. Once you leave your home to go and vote, strictly you know what you are going to do. You do not need to clash with anyone. You leave your home, you have gone through the whole process, you have known the candidates, they have canvassed votes, they have come to you, so you have an informed decision. When you reach the polling area, you'll be guided by the Electoral Commission on what to do. First of all, they will have to confirm that you are a registered. You are a registered voter in the National Register. And once you have been identified, you'll be guided through the processes. They'll give you the ballot. You go and now take your choice. There are two options. If you know, if you can use a pen, you can tick against the candidate of your choice. And like what is on the screen.
Indeed.
You can tick within that box. There are different candidates on the ballot paper. I want to take an example. If there may be 5 or 6, you are choosing one. You have to choose that candidate of your choice and make a tick in the box against the candidate of your choice. Alternatively, if you cannot use a pen, you can use a thumbprint. But I want to emphasize here, there are times when we get excited and we go against what is required. Sometimes it is out of ignorance or excitement. If that tick goes past the box, that means you have spoiled that vote. So you have to control the excitement. You have to be very calm and I think the Electoral Commission officials will guide you.
Right.
There are voters who are timid, there are voters who don't know what to do, but there are provisions, they can be guided. What I'm emphasizing is that you simply go, once you are given the ballot, you go through the ballot and you identify a candidate of your choice. After identifying the candidate of your choice, you tick in the box which is against that candidate of your choice. And you ensure that that tick does not go beyond the box, just like you have seen on the screen.
Indeed, as you can see on your screen, it's a valid ballot paper versus an invalid ballot paper. Now, a valid ballot paper, what Mr. Mugweri says there is when you tick, make sure that your tick remains within the boundaries of that box.
Yes.
Let it not cross through the boundaries of the box out of excitement for ticking for your favorite candidate, or even your thumbprint crossing the boundaries of any of that box that you're supposed to place your thumbprint. And when it comes to an invalid ballot paper, as you can see on your screen, you're not supposed to cross the one you do not like as a way of probably voting against in the literal sense. No, just vote for what you like with a tick, full stop, not any other sign, a tick or a thumbprint. And I hope you're getting the clear visuals of what your ballot paper will look like on the polling days come next year as we cast the votes to vote in the general elections 2026. That's exactly what it will look like. But the moment you do what the red invalid ballot papers look like, if you act it out that way, it will obviously be invalid and that vote will not be counted. So keep within the blue color, that is the valid ballot paper. It's how you are supposed to do it. 0709602592 is the WhatsApp number that you should save, engage, and ask your questions. We're having a conversation of obviously the road to the general elections 2026. And today in particular, we are empowering citizens for active and peaceful participation in the election process. In studio with me is Mugweri Geoffrey, who is a consultant and PRO 3N consultant, alongside Misusera Mukasa Njovu, who is a senior technical advisor, as well as the team leader for this project. Engage and let's learn and learn as well as relearn together. Now, coming to you, Mr. Mukasa, what kind of candidate are we supposed to vote for?
Thank you very much, Lillian. Maybe before I go to that, I just want to emphasize one aspect from the displayed ballot papers.
Right.
That if you realize that you have spoiled the ballot paper before you cast it, you have the right to go back and actually ask for a new one, and then you do it right. That is if you get the opportunity to realize that actually I have maybe ticked wrongly, I have crossed the ballot paper in a way that is not supposed to be crossed. So you can actually go back and because it's provided for to go back and get a new ballot paper. Now, back to the question you have asked, we should choose candidates, one, that has convinced us that they are going to deliver to the needs and the aspirations of the people. I think that is important. So that's why I think my colleague has even mentioned it. We need to encourage voters to attend rallies, to attend campaign rallies, to understand what the person is offering to them. And so then they would make the informed decisions that we talked about earlier on. So it is important that voters attend rallies. Otherwise, you don't depend on hearsay that somebody went there and is saying, no, I was there, and to me, this is the person who has convinced me. So it is upon you as an individual to actually make that informed decision and vote for the person that you are convinced is going to deliver to your aspirations, the aspirations and the needs that you think to help you get out of what you are you are going through. Yeah, so it is, I think it is important for us to do that. Otherwise, you can't sit in your home and just decide. You need to listen to the different people and then make that decision based on what they have shared with you.
Right.
And,
staying with on the matter of who we should vote for. In this day and age, we have noticed that the rise of money and people voting because of money is ruling. It's at the top of everything. And we've had conversations even on here on Good Morning Uganda, where you realize that many voters, if you carry out some form of a poll, will tell you that why should I vote for someone who does not give me money? So I'd like for you to speak to the electorate, us who vote. Why exactly shouldn't we vote because we've been given money?
Yeah, thank you so much. I think we even mentioned it earlier on that it is when you cast a vote based on the amount of money that has been given to you, you are selling your conscience. I think within your heart you'll also be saying, no, it's because of that amount that I got, that's why I voted him. But indeed, if he had not given me, he's not the right candidate for me. And so I think along the way, let's have that responsibility. Let's reject bribes. And then we make that decision based on your conscience that actually this is the right person, this is the person who's going to deliver to the needs that I feel I need, and then it will work out for all of us. So voters, I think it is important that we don't go by the amount of money that has been given to us and then we make that decision. That decision would be compromised because it is based on it has been bought. And even somebody can actually tell you that, no, but I paid you money. How come you didn't vote for me? Yeah, so I think we need to be conscious of that.
Right. Kindly allow me stay with you and still on the matter of who we should vote for. In this day and age, the digital era where social media is now the thing. It's what quite a number of candidates are using. In fact, there are those candidates who have chosen to strictly use social media and not have campaign rallies, of which you could tell that it even saves the time for the electorate or voters who would have spent time going to a rally. They can work at the same time, follow up on this candidate and listen to their manifesto. So in this day and age, do you think candidates having their campaigns on social media is more viable than them being in the faces of the electorate?
Thank you very much. I think that is true. Social media is the way to go. And I think it doesn't do any harm if all candidates, I want to believe every candidate is using social media. And so, but it has its own limitation. I don't think that if you basically look at only social media, you will reach out to every Ugandan. I don't think everybody accesses social media. And even then, the smartphones are not to everybody, where many of these social media handlers can be accessed. And so the traditional way is still valid, that even as you use social media, I think you can actually go out and talk to the people, especially those who actually vote, who are deep in the villages, and they don't have that phone where they can access what you are sharing. And so I would encourage that it would be good that all candidates use all the available channels to ensure that they deliver their messages to the voters.
All right, thank you very much. My take home from that particular one is accessing those on campaigning, or rather in person, especially those who actually vote. Meaning that many are on social media and giving you the likes, but chances are they're not going to vote. Now coming to what we have as your views. Good morning, Uganda. This is Odaro Vincent from Tororo. I have loved the topic of discussion. Sincerely speaking, some people don't know the reason as to why they should vote. And also, during voting day, they don't know what to do. Some go ahead to prick the eyes of the candidates or do something contrary, hence making the vote invalid. Please continue sensitizing the public, but more emphasis should be on the common man in the rural community so that all of us know our roles. Thank you very much, Vincent, for that submission. And road to 2026 election, Netherlands, Brooklyn, Leo Brazen, Ugandan, let's vote the leaders for change and development, ready to deliver. I'm coming back to Uganda to vote the right one. Thank you very much, Brooklyn. That means a lot that you're coming back to Uganda to exercise your right, and indeed looking forward to having you back home so that you choose your leader and exercise that right that you have as well as a role. Now coming to you, Geoffrey, where are citizens supposed to vote from?
Thank you so much, Julie, and viewers. First of all, once you are registered as a voter, there are different polling stations. You are supposed to go to a polling station where you registered from as a voter. For example, myself, I am a registered Ugandan voter, and I vote from Jami Primary School in Kamonkoli Sub-County, in Ikiki County, in Budaka District. That is where I vote from. So you are supposed to go to a polling station where you registered from. But before the polling day, you are advised to get a polling slip. And that polling slip actually indicates, it guides you, it has information which clearly indicates where you're supposed to vote from. So you will carry along your national ID or a voter slip for identification purposes. Even if you do not have the above, the national ID or a voter slip, go and prove to the polling officials that your name appears in the voter register using the biometric voter verification. Polling stations are designated to open between 7 a.m. and they close at 4 p.m. So basically that is the process on the voting day. You will go to where you registered from. You will identify yourself as a registered voter and you're on the register. And they will guide you through the process. And that is between 7 a.m. and 4 p.m. According to the electoral laws. Actually, on that note, please take us through the detailed process as to paint a picture on what it will look like on that day, 7 a.m. when the voting exercise starts. What happens? The first voter gets they're asked for they are checked with their biometric for verification. What happens thereafter? Well, like I said earlier before, what happens is that the Electoral Commission, after gazetting the days of voting, like in this case for the presidential and parliamentary elections, I think they are going to be conducted on the 15th of January 2026. Citizens or voters actually are encouraged to turn up in big numbers and go and vote. That is why there is that time frame of 7 in the morning up to 4. So in order to be able to vote, a voter must be at the polling station anytime between 7 a.m. and 4 p.m. So that now he's taken through the process. He will be given the instructions of the designated polling officials on exactly what to do. There will be different arrangements. First of all, identifying the voter. From that desk, you are given the ballot. You go and cast your ballot, and you go away. Then, I think this is also very important, which I need to emphasize. Before, normally what is done, before the voting opens, the polling officials from the Electoral Commission normally encourage, and there are certain voters who are supposed to be there. I think the number is around between 5 and 5 before to confirm whether these ballot papers are not tampered with. So the citizens who are there before, they represent other voters on that polling station to confirm that the whole process is not tampered with. The ballots are not tampered with. And then when they finish the polling at 4, the counting of votes is done in public. The voters who are willing and who are able to be around, they go through, they witness the whole process of counting the votes. So that transparency is emphasized, so that no stakeholder claims that anything has been tampered with. The whole process has been fair, it has been transparent. And I think us as citizens, us as voters, us as Ugandans, first of all, I want to take this opportunity to implore Ugandans to be patriotic. This is our country. This is a process which we must accept, which we must respect, which we must participate in. Until through this process that we are going to choose our leaders. I want Ugandans to be very vigilant. I want Ugandans to take interest. And also, like we have emphasized before, that the voting process, it is your vote which has the power. It is that power which you are using. Actually, our critical message is to ensure that people understand the importance of voting and they respect one another. They should be tolerance. We are going to vote, and the voting will end, and we shall come back to our normal business. We shall remain as Ugandans. So it is that mindset which I'm imploring Ugandans to adopt, that we should love our country, we should protect our country, and we should participate in these processes. Because any responsible citizen is supposed to take a decision on how he or she is going to be governed through the voting process. That is why I think we are given this opportunity through the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now, I have some fact sheets here that would indeed pique your interest. Looking at the Namutumba district fact sheet, Namutumba district has 20 sub-counties or town councils, 111 parishes, and 629 villages. The population of Namutumba is 3,011,339 according to that is, pardon me, 3,011,339 according to the census report 2024. And in the last presidential elections, Namutumba had 121,149 registered voters. Out of these, 71,427 voted. That is about 58.9%. Now, His Excellency polled 38,427, 56.1% thereabout, and Noop polled 27,504 votes, and the others polled about 2,500, actually 2,560 votes in there. And in the 2025, Namutumba has 152,369 registered voters, and the voters increased by 31,220. The polling stations are 386 from 243 in 2021. An increase there in voters that registered, and looking forward to an increased number. That means of those who are to vote, to cast their ballots come polling days. And looking at the fact sheet of Bugweri district has 8 sub-counties, stroke town councils, 37 parishes, and 147 villages. Now, the population of Bugweri is 211,511 according to the census report 2024. And in the 2021 general elections, Bugweri had 84,953 registered voters. Out of these, 47,064 voted. His Excellency polled 17,428, while Noop polled 25,939, and then others 1,679. And in 2025, Bugweri has 96,437 registered voters, and the voters increased by 11,284. The polling stations are 230, up from 154 in 2021. An increase in the trajectory there, and that means looking forward to more numbers casting their votes come 2026, given this sample space of Bugweri district and Namutumba district. Now, looking at some of the comments coming through. Good morning, Julie. Thank you for the topic. And I thank the officials for the good message. And also, please tell me more about the issue of not having my ID, or if it's expired, what can I do? Let me pose that to you, Mokasa, to answer this one. A viewer says that they need to know more about national IDs, especially if it is expired and they do not have a valid one yet. What can they do?
Yeah, thank you so much. I think it is provided for that if you don't have a voter slip or you don't have a national ID, but you can actually verify your names on the register, then you are allowed to vote. The law provides for that. It is indeed true, many citizens don't have valid national IDs, and therefore it means quite many may not vote. But if you can go, you are allowed to go, and they use the biometric verification kit, then they will verify that you actually the voter, much as you don't have the national ID or the voter slip. So we are encouraging voters to actually turn up,
right,
whether you have a national ID or you don't have it. So long as you can allow to be verified that you actually a voter, then you will actually vote.
Why haven't you paid officials who conducted voting in the village special interest group elections 2025? I think this one would best be answered by the Electoral Commission.
Yeah.
And the election doesn't matter in Uganda because we don't have democracy. This is Bakaiza, who actually is still typing and building on their point. Good morning, Ugandans. I appreciate the program. My name is Okao Emmanuel from Kampala, Naguru. My concern is when you finish to vote, let me say at 8 a.m. or 10 a.m., am I required to remain there up to 4 p.m. or am I supposed to go back to my home and wait for the result? Let me pose that to you, Geoffrey.
Thank you so much. There is a lot of controversy concerning what happens after voting. Different political players are disseminating different information. And I think Electoral Commission is very clear on this. Once somebody finishes voting, I don't want to imagine that it is possible, it is practically possible that every voter who votes remains at where he has voted from. Because now I want to imagine if you are voting from a place and whoever votes remains there at that very point where you have voted from. I don't want to imagine. I think it may even cause some security concerns, some security issues. But there is a provision that after the voting, you can go somewhere and then maybe you come back when they are voting. When they are going to start counting the votes. I think the Electoral Commission will clearly guide on that, but even before it has clearly stated it, that once a voter votes, he or she can take off, he goes back, and depending on his schedule, you can come back when they are going to start counting the votes, or you can actually go somewhere, not necessarily where you have voted from, because you'll be crowding that place. I want to imagine. You can go somewhere where you can be in a distance which is not going to interfere or actually impact negatively on other people who are still coming to vote. That is what I could do.
Right. Imagine, yeah. If I did not register and I have no valid national ID, am I allowed to vote? I think this is quite obvious. No, you cannot vote. Unless I am wrong.
You can't vote.
Yes, but as per the information that has been shared, if you do not have a national ID, and at that, on top of that, you did not register at all, then there's no way you can be able to vote. You talked about giving in money to voters. I support it 100% because politics became a business. You invest in and get the money back. Now, in the first place, it's Mukasa who spoke into this. Now, let me allow Mugweri speak to this particular viewer who says that they support giving money for one to vote.
First of all, I want us to appreciate that there is a problem. And once we appreciate that there is a problem, possibly we can find ways of mitigating that challenge. It is obvious and it is true that politics in our country has been commercialized. And it is not one-sided. Those who are coming with money, I think they are doing a very wrong thing. But even the voters who are soliciting for these bribes, they're equally doing a wrong thing. Like I said, we need to be patriotic Ugandans. Your vote is not for sale. That one is very clear. And if you are confident of yourself, if you know you have come to serve the people, why do you need to buy those people to allow you to serve them? I think there is a contradiction. So all the stakeholders in this process must become more serious. And we all have to condemn this. We cannot commercialize politics. We cannot buy votes. That is the reason why we are emphasizing that once you are a voter, clearly differentiate between the wrong and the right thing. And this is what we are advising. This is what we are teaching. Somebody who is coming with money to buy your vote, I think it is very obvious that that person has got other intentions. He is coming into that office. He is soliciting to come into that office for business. Now, let me ask you, Julie, if I came and bought your vote, would you still have the moral authority to demand the services which I'm supposed to offer as a leader? Because I literally bought the vote. And this is the problem. This is the dilemma we are in. Both parties have got to condemn this. And we need to work collectively as a country. All the stakeholders must appreciate that the precedent which is being set, the precedent which is there of commercializing politics, it is very dangerous and it is not sustainable. Therefore, I want to implore Ugandans, I want to implore the voters, let us take decisions wisely. Let us not let us reject these bribes. And even the stakeholders, the candidates, let us have the confidence. Let us explain what we intend to do for our people whom we are seeking their mandate so that we can go and serve them. We do not need to use money. Money may be required to facilitate other processes, other logistics, like maybe transport, but where you are going to go to pick money from the pocket and you start cashing it out for a vote, I think that is very dangerous and we condemn it in the strongest terms.
All right, as we begin to close this conversation, a very pertinent question comes through. Assuming by 4 p.m. the lines are still long, does it mean that those who have not yet cast their votes will be automatically disqualified from voting? Let me pose this to you, Mr. Mugweri.
Well, the electoral laws are very clear on this, that voting starts from 7 a.m. and ends at 4 p.m. In this situation, if by 4 p.m. the line is still long, all those people who have been taken through the process and they are in the line willing to vote, ready to vote, they cannot be pulled out of the line because it is 4. I think that is literally what it is. Yeah. But when newcomers who come past 4 may not be subjected to the electoral process of going to cast the vote. But those who have gone through that process by that time, they continue and cast their votes.
All right.
Yes.
Mr. Mukasa, what measures are in place to prevent voter suppression or manipulation and intimidation of voters on a voting day? This is Daniel from Moroto, Karamoja.
Yeah, I think the laws are clear as we have intimated that during the voting, there are security people who are supposed to preserve law and order. And so if this happens, then it is the security people who have fallen away from their responsibility. And so we believe this should be taken care of, especially during the voting, so that people are free to come and actually vote. The elements of intimidation, we don't want to assume they will be there, because we are looking towards 2026 elections. If they have been there, we're saying it is the security people who should actually ensure that people are not intimidated, because it is their right, and they have come to make their choice based on their informed decisions.
All right.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Gentlemen, the conversation comes to its end. We've been having a conversation on empowering citizens for active and peaceful participation in the election process as we look forward to the general elections 2026. And Mugweri Geoffrey has been speaking with me. He is a consultant and PRO at 3N Consultants, as well as Ms. Useda Mkasanjovu, who is the Senior Technical Advisor, Team Leader for this particular project. One final one, and I'm posing it to you, Mr. Mugweri. What other services, aside voter education, does 3N offer?
Thank you so much, Julie. 3N Consultants Limited is an integrated consultants and advisory firm offering various services. And among the services we offer is project development, management, and monitoring and evaluation. We do evaluation, monitoring projects for government and private entities. We do also human resource management. We do facilitation of study abroad and general business. Please take an opportunity and come to 3N Consultants. We are located on Kira House, and we do business.
All right.
We bring together synergies of consultants, synergies of technical experts, and we do business. We do consult for business.
All right. Thank you very much for being that wonderful viewer who has participated on the show. Indeed, looking forward to inspiring Uganda again tomorrow. Thank you so much for following UBC TV here to inspire you. Good morning.
Thank you.
Live from UBC Studios in Kampala, this is Good Morning Uganda.
Pick of the day on UBC.
One-on-one with Michael Jordan Lukomwa.
A weekly face-to-face conversation focusing on accountability, inspiration, information, and sensitization of the public from the various sources. Such
exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules, plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
Pick of the day on UBC. Was brought to you by
I'll call you every day, yeah yo,
You can now get all the Chibuzi out with MTN voice bundles. Call all networks Kubei Dondoro. Buy a 25-minute voice bundle for only 1,000 or buy any daily voice bundle of your choice. Dial *100 *21 hash and select daily or use the My MTN app. When we talk together, we are unstoppable.
Step into a world of excellence, comfort, and pride with Royal Foam Furniture, crafted to perfection right here in Uganda. We bring you state-of-the-art living room furniture and bedding products at affordable prices. Our wide variety of mattresses include orthopedic, pillow top, spring mattresses suitable for institutions like hotels, and many others for home comfort. With every piece telling a story of royal excellence, our products are built with the highest quality materials made to last. Experience royalty with Royal Foam Furniture, proudly made in Uganda, so buy Uganda and build Uganda. Visit our showrooms at Ginger Road, Chambogo Junction, Bukota Chisasi Road, and on Victoria Mall, Entebbe, on the first floor.
You see, I've been a painter for almost 4 decades, and I have found Global Paints to be very reliable. First, everyone knows we use Global Paint undercoat. Now, for the best results, I continue with Global Paints products. I go for silk vinyl when it comes to the interior. Then Global Matte for the ceiling, and when it comes to weatherproof, I go for Global Weather Coat Emulsion. With that one, the house will never peel. Now, there you have a sparkling, magical looking house. And then the client is very happy. He recommends me to another person, who recommends me to another person, who recommended me to come and do the advert.
Global Paint, a reliable product.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Ginshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio, take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day, don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Ginshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
When you want to relax your body and refresh your mind, welcome to Hotel La Confidential, Aroa's premier destination for luxury and comfort. The only hotel in Aroa City offering a serene atmosphere, breathtaking scenery. Come and discover our exclusive wellness club with packages that include a fully equipped gym, a rejuvenating sauna, steam bath, and a great sky blue swimming pool. For events, our state-of-art conference halls and versatile event spaces are perfect for hosting shows, wedding receptions, birthdays, and more. Come and enjoy our cinema hall and unisex saloon, all designed to meet your entertainment and grooming needs. Bring your family and let your kids splash around in our beautiful kids water park. We are located on Aroa Pakwachi Highway in the heart of Aroa City. Don't wait. Visit us on www.hotelconfidential.com or call us on 0761 688 181.
My question is, what is the difference between rental tax and income tax? How comes I'm paying both taxes on my own premises? If you want to have a tin, but you are not making any income from your business, you should take on the obligation to continue filing your nil return.
General, to invest in taxation. When people understand taxes and they know the importance of taxes and they know the fair assessment of these taxes they're supposed to pay, I think everybody will embrace taxation.
As banning groupage cargo, clearance protects small traders who cannot afford to import full container loads individually and rely on consolidation to remain competitive. Cargo to come in groupage is consolidation, it's legitimate, and we can't ban it. What we have banned or what we have stopped is the use of container leaders. Now, Fiona, the good news I have for you is that among the new tax proposals,
now you can get direct answers. Send your tax-related questions via WhatsApp or SMS to 0790 141 887 and the Commissioner General of URA